Now, I just want to say, I feel like I need to preface this episode by saying the original intro was going to be me pulling up on a motorcycle, and I was going to buy the motorcycle with the jacket, but my girlfriend and I, we had a long talk, and we ultimately decided that if I was going to buy a motorcycle, she was going to dump me because she thought I was going to die. So ended up not getting the motorcycle, but I still got the jacket, so that's good. This is just a quick audio test to see if the audio is working. This is just a quick audio test. So probably Taylor Stitch's So the Taylor Stitch Moto Jacket in Whiskey Steerhide is probably their most famous jacket or piece of outerwear next to like the long haul jacket. This is just water, by the way. I always feel like when the hosts of YouTube channels have like a mug with them, like Bark and Jack, they just seem like they're like nonchalant. Like it's not a big deal. The camera just happened to be recording and they're like, hey, my thoughts on the 2018 Rolex release. But I'm drinking water, baby! The Moto Jacket by Taylor Stitch is a beautiful jacket. It's kind of the balance I was looking for between like a Perfecto, a Cafe Racer, and an A2. Really, the Perfecto is kind of out of that line, but the Cafe Racer mixed with the A2, because I really don't like the banded collar of the Cafe Racer. I don't think I do. I haven't really tried one on. It just kind of seems, I don't know, it's not my favorite. I don't know how to put it. I would rather have either the big lapels or I guess it's called a t-shirt collar. I'm not really sure. Anyways, but this jacket, if you look at it on the Taylor Stitch website, is absolutely gorgeous. It's one of those ones that makes you stop scrolling and you're just like, wow, maybe I'll buy a $900 jacket right now. And that's kind of how I felt about it. So anyways, really quick, Taylor Stitch is a really cool company. I'm not sponsored by them. I bought all this stuff with my own money. If they want to sponsor me though, that would be absolutely incredible because I love their stuff. So I really wouldn't be opposed to that at all. Okay, so quick location change. I realized it was pretty echoey over there, so hopefully that's better. Hopefully you didn't click off the video. Hopefully you subscribe, toss this video a like, and also follow me on Instagram at 8th Weekday. Okay, so I just want to start off by saying that this is like a $900 to $1,000 jacket, and that means it's like a real leather jacket. I'm expecting a certain amount of quality and a certain type of leather to be used and all that. Not saying that a $700, $800 shouldn't be that, but that's kind of where, you know, the serious leather jackets start. That's where you expect full grain leather, nice thick leather, not like a fashiony, corrected, genuine, fake, or anything like that type leather. That's when you're really investing in this jacket and you're probably buying it thinking, I'll wear this forever. That's where this jacket is at. And it definitely delivers. I'm not gonna be like, well, you know, and that's kind of where it falls short because that's not true at all. Sorry, I just had to be really, we're just hanging out here. I had to Okay, so first off, before everything, the fit of this jacket is pretty solid. The only thing I don't like is that the arms feel really like there's more insulation or a thicker type of insulation, or there should be less comparatively, just because I feel like the body runs pretty close to my frame and looks good, but the arms are a little bit bigger than I'd want. There's a little bit too much stuffing, and you can really see that when I turn around. It kind of looks like my arms are like right on my sides. Not really sure why that is. They just look a little bigger than I'd want them to, but also I did another review for the Free Note cloth jacket where there was no insulation and I was upset that my arms were cold, so really I'm not gonna, either way I'm gonna complain probably, but it's just a little big. I wish they slimmed them down a little bit or a tighter fit, but kind of take that back too. I'm just saying the sleeves are big, but I really like that when it gets cold in the winter and I can put like a wool sweater or something on under that. So, you know, it works out and it doesn't work out. I wish they were slimmer, but at this point it's probably just body and security issues. But most times I wear a 38 jacket in Taylor Stitch. Sometimes I go to a 36 jacket, but usually if there's no number, I'm a small or medium, depends on the jacket. But for Taylor Stitch, I usually wear a 38. I'm about 155 pounds, 5'9", and I wear a small in the Moto jacket. And it fits really well, as you can see. It's actually a pretty short jacket, so if you're tall, you may be kind of out of luck. So the leather here is a chrome tan, drum dyed, 3.5 ounce full grain steer hide. I actually reached out to Golden Bear, the makers of this jacket, which if you look at Golden Bear's products, you can kind of see that this is based off their Cafe Racer with the banded collar. And I think Taylor Stitch basically chose the leather color, the leather type. They changed a few things in the design, you know, most notably, like I said, the collar. And then there may be some details they added or didn't add. I don't really know. But I did reach out to Golden Bear, and this is a naked steer hide. So that means there's no treatment over the top. So this is particularly susceptible to water. Not anything crazy, but you know, if you have a jacket that is treated with something or there's a outer coating or anything like that. You see it in Schott a lot of the times too. It's treated, so it's a little better for, you know, getting wet and stuff like that. It can hold up a little bit more. It doesn't really make the leather any tougher, it just makes the water easier to beat off and fall off. So basically, naked steer hide versus a treated steer hide is that the cows usually have a dress on or something in the field, and this is the farmer shoots them, you know, either with their dress on or without their dress on. But what's really nice is since it is a naked steer hide, it's a lot softer and it's a lot easier to break in, which I kind of notice, I think, in Taylor Stitch. If anyone of you watch this, you can correct me, but kind of seems like the ethos of Taylor Stitch is to have high quality or stuff that will last forever without the break-in period. I don't know if that's true 100%, but most things I notice from Taylor Stitch, they come washed or they come softened or something like that. This leather was definitely tumbled. As you can see, it's really pebbly, so, you know, it's been moving around to be softened and stuff like that. It comes out of the box really soft, and there's really not a break-in period at all in terms of stiffness. The jacket itself will stretch and, you know, kind of conform to you a little bit better. Where it's tight, it'll loosen up eventually, and then you should be good. I did hear people say that you should size down this jacket because it'll stretch. I don't generally like that rule for any clothing because it's gonna stretch, sure, but you know, you bought something too small in hopes that it will become the right size when you could probably find something that is the right size and then have it kind of mold and conform to you even more. In terms of patina, Taylor Stitch really kind of totes this jacket as like in 40 years it's gonna look stunningly beautiful. As you can see by, I think, Nick Kemp or someone's father's jacket, which they based this off of, and yeah, it'll probably look like that. There's obviously no evidence of what it's gonna look like, but that also means that you have to take care of this jacket and keep it up and stuff like that, or it's gonna kind of get, you know, worn or gross. Regardless though, it's a beautiful color. This is by far my most complimented jacket. I said that about a denim jacket before, but that was kind of specific to denim jackets. This, on the whole circle of all my jackets that I wear, this is the one where everybody's like, wow, I love that jacket. Can I see that jacket? Can I try that on? And, you know, that's kind of how it goes. It's also, like I said, it's really soft, so people don't hate hugging me. Last time I had my leather jacket on, a different one, which was a Schott, my girlfriend said it felt like she was hugging a tire. That's me, with the 2004 World Series trophy from the Boston Red Sox. Pedro Martinez coming up to the mound, throwing a fastball, then boom, punching the old man in the face. He's too old for baseball. Manny Ramirez coming up to bat, taps a pine circle on his head. Boom, 43 home runs, followed up by David Ortiz. Boom, 41 home runs. Boom, baby, 1918 dead in the dirt, all the way to the Yankee Stadium and back. So the inside of the jacket is lined with Thinsulate, which, you know, is fine. It's better than, I guess, like a generic polyester lining, and it's not down. I don't know if you can really line something lightly in down practically. I would like that though, just because down doesn't compress. I think Thinsulate does lose its effectiveness as it compresses, but there's really not a lot in here, and that's really not the star of the show, so I'm not too concerned about that. It's nice when it hits fall and it's the 60s and 50s and 40s. That adds a little bit extra warmth. The lining itself is 65% polyester, 35% cotton, and while I normally would be like, oh, that's a lot of polyester, I am kind of getting into polyester, cotton, or wool or something blends. Normally I like it the other way, 35% polyester, 65 cotton, but I recently was learning, for example, if you have a polyester wool blend in a sweater, you know, there's a wool-rich density, which is like 65% wool, 25% polyester. I can't remember. I'll put it here, but there's a density basically that just makes the sweater better, which kind of seems counterintuitive, obviously, because polyester is cheaper, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have beneficial properties to it. Holds the structure longer, doesn't pill as much, and I think helps with something else. I can't remember. But what I'm saying is I don't really know if that helps here at all. I'm assuming it'll probably add a little bit more durability to the lining itself, but still, polyester is kind of, you know, less breathable. But I think that's kind of where the cotton blend comes in, so that way the jacket still breathes. The sleeves are lined with acetate, which I really don't know a lot about, and I was just doing some reading on it, but basically it's made from a wood pulp, so that's pretty cool, and it's kind of the synthetic version of silk. I don't know if that was cost saving or if it has more advantages than silk. Silk is pretty amazing in and of itself, so I don't really know. I'm assuming cost saving, but who's to say? I think that's why. Anyways, there's this handy guide that gives some pros and cons. Pros, it's fine, soft, fluffy, silk-like. Cons, very vulnerable to heat, not very warm. It's kind of delicate, it's not the strongest, you should hand wash it, which, you know, never throw your leather jacket in the wash anyways. Even though some people on Fedora Lounge say that you should do that, that's the scariest movie of all. I would never do that. The build of the jacket, the build quality, also really high up there. There's no missed stitches or anything like that. The neck and the wind part, the wind flap behind the zipper are reinforced with some stitching that looks really cool. The collar has snap down buttons, which is awesome, and I usually unsnap them just because it looks a little bit more casual, but they're there if you're riding your motorcycle. This first and foremost is a motorcycle jacket. Obviously you can get a motorcycle jacket with armor and stuff, but you know, this is thick leather that if you take a fall will hopefully be there for you. So it is built with that in mind. So the general build quality of this jacket is fantastic. This is made by Golden Bear, and you know, they always make amazing things. They're from California. I've had a few of their varsity jackets, super high quality. Leather feels the exact same. If you have one of those jackets, the sleeves is basically what the leather here is made out of, and it's awesome. Taylor Stitch says they made some improvements to the original design. I'm looking at the picture of the old jacket and it looks pretty dead on. I don't really know what the improvements they made are. Besides, you'll see there's these little triangle stitches. I don't really know what these are called, but little triangles near the pockets. I'm assuming that's so it doesn't rip. It's a little extra reinforcement from, you know, sticking your hands in and out, in and out, in and out, all that. But that's the only change I can see that they made. I would really love it if they went into detail, like here's the old jacket, here's the new jacket, and we did all this stuff to it, just because I'd like to read about that. I think it'd be really cool, but still, they didn't do that. Probably something that shouldn't be one of my favorite details of this jacket, but is the fact that the hand pockets are fleece lined, so if you stick your hands in there, it feels like you're wearing a flannel, like on your hands, which is really nice, adds a lot of warmth, and just adds general, one, comfort, but two, it makes the jacket feel a lot more luxurious. Like there's that hidden detail on the inside. That's great. And what I really like, even though I don't really know why you would do it or why you would put your hands in the booby pockets, but there's also, it's fleece lined up here too. Like I said, I don't know why, maybe to keep whatever's in your pocket warm, like if you have a hamster there. It's there too, which is kind of cool. It just adds like a little bit more quality feeling up there, and I'm like, oh, why is this in here? I have no idea. All in all, this is an incredible jacket. Looks super good, functions really well, keeps me warm, stitching is nice. However, there are 3 things that I'm not really a fan of, and we'll go into those now. Very calmly, might I add. We'll be very calm when we go into the things that I don't like. The first and biggest gripe I have with the jacket can be shown right here. Okay, so here's the back of the jacket, and this is what I'm talking about. We have this line down the middle, which I think is kind of like a hallmark of Taylor Stitch jackets, because even their denim jackets have it, and you know, denim is denim. They don't really have to split that, but we have 2 pieces of leather right here. We have this bottom panel there. We have these panels right here, like under the underarms, and then obviously these are good, these are the gussets, but just seems a little bit panely compared to, if we pull in something like my 316 jacket, you can see obviously we have this bottom panel right here. I think that adds a little bit of weight so the jacket hangs better, but nothing down the middle, which I kind of like better. It's a little bit cleaner, and then 1 piece of leather going from the armhole out, which I want to say, it doesn't mean that it's better leather, it's the same quality leather, it's just a bigger continuous hide of leather, which I think is more expensive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. So it's a little bit higher quality production, not really higher quality leather. So like I said, I think those panels are to cut down on cost, which makes sense because this is already a $1,000 jacket. I'm assuming if they had to go with bigger panels, the jacket would probably exceed that, maybe 12, 13, 1400, whatever it may be. And you know, there comes a point where Taylor Stitch probably has to be like, all right, we're not gonna sell jackets for $1,800 because they look like this. You know, it's not our market or something like that. So I'm assuming that's why. But my second gripe kind of comes in there because the panels are not matched up in terms of leather grain. So if you look, I don't know if you can see it too well in the video, but one of the underarm panels is very smooth. There's not a lot of pebbling. And then on the actual arm, it's very pebbled and very creased. So it kind of creates a weird mismatch of like, this is a different leather than this leather very clearly. If they're matched up exactly, it's kind of just like, you know, another stitch. You don't really think about it. But when there are those little patchy things with a very big difference in grain, it kind of makes note of itself. The other thing that kind of bothers me about this jacket, and is also one of my favorite things at the same time, and also linked to that, is that it might just be how it is, but this jacket has a 2-way zipper, so you can zip it all the way up, and then you have another option of kind of zipping it up again and leaving the bottom unzipped and the top zipped, which is cool if you know, if you're trying to cool off. I don't really know why you would do it. I do it. I just feel cool when I do it. But what I don't like about this zipper is that it's just hard to zipper. In general, I have Schott jackets with, you know, big chunky zippers and stuff like that. I've had a few other jackets with huge zippers. They always all the way up easily. And it's really annoying on this jacket, especially, you know, being this price range, I have to like finagle with it and get it just right, just to push it through both of the zippers and get it up, and it kind of, a lot of the times, makes me look like a fool. So that's pretty annoying, and I've seen a lot of comments on Taylor Stitch's website being like, low quality zipper, doesn't zip, and my only argument there, I guess, or in defense of Taylor Stitch, is that I think that's kind of how two-way zippers go. This is a YKK, high quality, high gauge zipper, and I don't think Taylor Stitch cheaped out there or anything like that. It's a two-way zipper, so you kind of have to have, so you basically, you have two zippers that you have to get it through instead of one, which makes it twice as hard. Anyways, but all in all, this is an incredible jacket. You can see with the cross-section of this leather that it's going to darken and look beautiful. It's a nice quality leather, and all in all, it's a really great jacket. So if you're looking to get one, I highly suggest it. Definitely try and get it on Taylor Stitch. Does 20% off your first order. They do frequent sales, so, you know, you can always get it for less than initial retail markup. And it kind of shows that this jacket, you know, it's selling retail for $1,000 or $1,075 or something like that, but if you can get that 20% off so easily, it's kind of more in the 800 area. Anyways, that's about it. Bye.